Matrix or Shady. No. Hey, gang. 99.1 WDJY. I don't know why that does that. That one spot. That stutter. And we're on 99.1 WDJY. We are on, how should I say it? Oh, check 1, 2. Yep, we're on, how do I explain this? My mic is now connected and has been for the past couple of weeks with the traditional XLR, the traditional cable, not the, we don't use the USB connection anymore. It's a better quality, although you might not be hearing it right now. And I've been having some technical issue, long story short. And so the tech folks, oh, it's going. We're going to have to cut to a commercial. I got to fix this. Gang, it's 99.1 WDJY. We'll be back after this.
Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yerg's. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yerg's and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yerg's Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is gotta be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversial presidential election. I have an actual question, legitimate question, as a political scientist and historian by education. If you are a Trump supporter, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your appeal to Donald Trump is at this time. Please email me news, N-E-W-Z, at yergs.com. News, N-E-W-Z, at YERGZ.com. Thanks. Participants must be willing to provide their contact information, answer a series of questions, and then have their first name broadcast over the radio and social media relevant to Up the Middle.
Oh, what a day. So, I'm up early, getting ready for today, and okay, so that sounds all right. I don't know if you were seeing on the monitor, I had an earpiece in too. For those of you watching on video, it's connected to my phone, which is the actual live broadcast from so many of our different affiliates. And the mic issue that I was telling you about before the commercial that I had to take, it's called a audio interface. It takes an XLR cable, turns it into a digital signal so it can go into a computer. Kind of sort of what happens with the USB connection, although this is a better sound. I'm telling you all that because the interface itself is powered by the computer. Unless it needs more power, it's got another jack to be powered by a wall outlet. there had been some issues happening because I had not been also powering by the wall outlet. The customer support of the company said, use that auxiliary power. Okay, got it. I still got to be connected to the computer because that's also how the sound from the mic goes to the computer from the processor interface. What that auxiliary power does is gives it more power. And everything since then has been just so much more intense and a much greater volume. I'm still getting used to that, and that includes adjusting levels, getting on the radio, the part that you're hearing, to make sure that you're still hearing it, because my volumes are now way down. And I can hear it in my headset, but that doesn't mean that that's exactly what you're hearing. Till now, I confirmed it. So today, Mirror Mirror Monday. Jane Stahl will be joining us later. The DNC starts today. But first, she's here. My Tuesday, Thursday co-host. We're on vacation this summer. Marcella is the best at what she does. Hello, my dear.
Hey.
How's everything?
Good. I'm making coffee.
Oh, yeah. I'm on cup number 3.
I hear you got exciting news today.
Oh, which one?
Well, let's start with the most important.
That's
back to school for you.
Well, not for me, but yeah, that's why I've got a pit bull on my lap right now. Because it is too early in the morning for Matrix to be dealing with a 8-week-old puppy.
Oh, no. Well, I missed the dog. How are you? What's happening?
Oh, everything.
I feel like we never speak to each other anymore. We're like separated.
I know. Well, yeah, no, let's say bi-coastal.
Bi-coastal.
This, everybody, by the way, is not just my co-host. I guess I'm a Mormon because I have 2 work wives.
Well, sure, if that's the way you want to see it. I like to think of it as my work bestie.
Oh, I'm your bestie, not your work husband.
My work bestie. No. I don't really listen. I got reamed the other day for talking about the breakup, and it's like you think you can talk to your friends, and one of them is like, "You don't need a man," and I said, "You're right. I don't need a man. I've never needed anyone to complete me, but I fucking want one." Oh, yeah. Radio.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. It's like
that, by the way.
Well, because you're so used to me talking like that.
I think so.
Yeah, but that's what's happening here. I actually spent the entire weekend working on my book.
Nice.
Yeah, so we made a lot of headway, and it's a collaborative effort. It's for my program, which I keep telling you should take. You're going to have to take the time out, and you're going to have to take the program.
I got to.
It's a lot of shadow work. It's a lot of shadow work, inner child healing. And then people come to me and go, well, I didn't have a bad childhood. That doesn't mean that there wasn't trauma. Yeah. And sometimes the program helps with, other areas. You definitely need it.
Yeah. No, I missed, I saw your ping later sometime in the weekend for Negative Vibes Only.
Negative Vibes.
I need to get to that one the most to brush up on my sarcasm and smart-assness.
You do. You have to come in. It's cathartic, and people don't get it. People say, why would I want to be in a negative space? I rebuke you. Like I'm some sort of demon. But no, really, that's what they say to me. And I sit here, like, I kind of just like break the fourth wall, and I go, "Huh? Did you hear that?"
Yeah, that was I was just going to say that, just the fact that you say that you rebuke me tells me you need to get a lot off your chest.
Seriously. So, it's funny because even Luna, she understands the assignment. It's like, Mom, she says, I'm feeling really mad about something, and I'll let her vent and say whatever she needs. And then when she's done, she's done. It's cathartic. It really is a
I
stress
thought that was the
reliever.
one you didn't let her in.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to be able to protect her forever. I probably
Right.
could, but um, when she hears me in the room, sometimes if I'm on speaker, because sometimes I just don't feel like putting my headset on, I'll be on speaker and I will tell everyone, just FYI, the child is in the room. And then everyone tones it down. They're still negative and they're still angry, but they tone down the language. When she's not there, it's, no holds barred. I do have some things I do not allow. There are some restrictions, not a lot. We do not talk about abusing children, old people, or animals. We do not talk negatively about the LGBTQ community unless you are from the LGBTQ community. We do not talk
You're an actual
about,
bitch.
well, yeah, we don't talk.
Yeah.
There's just certain things that you just don't talk about.
Right.
And the reason I do that is because it is very triggering to people. And I'm not trying to make enemies. I'm trying to create a space where people can come in and vent. So that's what happens there. It's actually, it's a lot of fun too, because people come in and are like, well, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, you only come here to see, for this day of the week.
Yeah, you only come here
And
to
then,
bitch.
yeah. And so it's really fun. I really don't hold it against anyone if I don't see them.
Right.
People have lives, but it's great to call them out there.
Yeah.
And then, we've got the Saturday room.
This will be a target too.
We've got the Saturday room, Ross, and I'm going to get you to sing one of these days. I promise you that.
Oh my God.
I will get you to sing. I know you haven't gotten me to sing on the show yet, but I will. I almost considered doing it today, except that I'm not set up with a mic to sound professional. Not that I need that, but
Yeah, I guess that didn't happen either.
what do you mean?
The mic that I sent you that your ex was
Oh,
going to.
shit. Not my ex, my daughter. She was, but so
Oh, I
my
thought he was.
kiddo, no, my kiddo moved to another state, and I'm very sad about it. I mean, yesterday we had our first Sunday without her.
Oh
And I
wow.
kind of just sat here staring at my other kids, and they're like, Mom, you're okay. And I didn't realize how down I must have looked. But I said, yeah, sure, I'm fine. And then I realized how exhausted I was. And not just exhausted, but just really out of it. And the kids kept checking on me. They're saying, Mom, you all right? And I finally just looked at them and I said, I miss your sister. She's here
Yeah.
every Sunday. And they said, Mom, you're going to see her. She's only a 3-hour train ride. But still,
Where did she move to?
Maryland.
Okay. Like
From New York
outside
City.
of DC.
Yeah, she's in that area. And she told me,
Yeah.
she says, Mom, it's 3 hours by train. That's it. And I
Yeah.
said, it's still too far. I said, I can't walk around the corner and see you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she did check in. And one of her partners checked in with me too to make sure I was all right yesterday, which
Wow.
was really sweet. Yeah, well, she's polyamorous. She's
Right.
got she's got 3 partners so far. I hope
3.
that's she does. She has 3 partners.
I
Um,
thought I knew about 2.
she just started
Oh, we
seeing
were a
someone
throuple
else.
last time.
Hmm. She just started seeing someone else a couple months ago. Really, really lovely young woman. And the young girl, she calls me or she'll text me. She checks in with me every few days. Just a lovely girl. And we have really beautiful conversations. I'm so honored to be her
Oh,
uh, mom-in-law, I guess you could say, unofficial, official
right.
mom, mom-in-law.
Right.
Um, she calls me mom, which I really like a lot too. And she texted me yesterday. She goes, "Hey, how are you feeling? I know that it's going to be different not having her there." And I said, I said, it's really nice of you to check on me. I wasn't expecting that. And she says, well, you're my ma. I just want to make sure you're okay. So,
Right. That's cool. It's also,
yeah.
I think that's also really brave that she checked on you, because some parents may take it as like, what do you think you're doing? I don't need you. I'm the parent
Oh,
type
no,
of attitude.
I'm not
You know what I
like
mean?
that. Ross, I'm not like that. You know, I'm gonna just be so transparent here right now. Growing up, my mother would always tell me she doesn't love everybody because she just doesn't have the space for it in her heart. And when I had my second child, my mom told me, "Don't have any more. You'll never be able to love them as much as you love the first ones." And she would tell me, "That's why I only had two." I would I would internalize that, and like it never felt good. So by the
Yeah.
time I had my third child, I was saying, she's wrong. She's just wrong.
Right.
I can't replace someone to love this person. I have to grow to love this person. Or I have
Yeah.
to grow to continue to love everyone else while I give this person all of my attention and love for now. Because that's what you do with a
Not,
newborn. You give them all the
not
love and attention.
to get, not to get political,
Mm-hmm.
but to use a buzzword that's floating around right now by the Dems about the Republicans.
Mm.
That's just weird. Like, how can a mom not love any
Listen,
member of their family?
she's she was a good mother. She provided
Yeah.
everything that we needed. However,
Questionable limitations.
she had a really rough childhood,
Okay.
put in charge of all of her siblings at a very young age. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, so
Clearly, there was more than two.
I may not understand it, but I get it.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart for her. It really does. And I see how she tries because I remember at work, they ask her, what's your passion? And it was after my daughter had her first child. And she says, my great grandchild. And I love that for her, that she is able to understand. She's got now this extended family. She's got great grandchildren now. And I really wish only loving things for her. I just can't subscribe to her beliefs. And I tried to for a long time. I wanted to fit in and be like her. And I realized I can't be you. I have to be me. So,
Yeah. 100%.
well, I miss my daughter. And it's just, I know that she's just a phone call away. I could FaceTime with her, but I can't just walk around the corner and see her. She stayed with her dad mostly because he's got a bigger place. I can't just walk around the corner and see her.
Yeah.
And she's the glue. She really is the glue in this family. And not seeing her it's like when she went away to college and I didn't see her for a month, and I cried. Like the first week I cried. So I'll get through it. I'll be fine. We'll all be fine. It's just really an emo period for me like right now.
Right.
But no, her partner, what I was trying to say was her partner, when my daughter started dating her first partner,
Oh, did we
I
lost?
I'm still here. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. I think you're the one who's frozen.
Hey, we all there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I think that was actually me.
Yeah, it was you. You kind of just froze. And um, all
Why?
good on your end?
No. Yes, I think.
So when I
Uh,
was telling a cute story, Ross, and you just like interrupted me.
I know, and that's not supposed to happen because I've
Your
actually got
face
better
is all
information.
confused. It's funny.
Oh, now or when it froze?
No, just now.
Oh,
You look confused.
I'm
Um,
pissed.
are you frozen again? No, there you go. You're moving.
No, no, I'm actually setting up for the next segment.
Yeah.
About
Oh,
to.
Jane will be here. Yeah. Yeah, I'll wrap it up. I've got a lot of stuff I got to get done. I got to continue working on the book today, but I wanted to tell you guys when Riley, my daughter, when she brought home her first partner, I invited her over. It was the week before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas, and I had not put up the tree. And Riley was very curious about that. And I said, "Well, I knew that you were bringing her. I wanted to, I wanted you guys to put the tree up." And she's like, "Seriously, you wanted us to work?" I just wanted to have them here to include her. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're putting up the tree, and I'm just watching. I actually took pictures, sneaky pictures. They're sitting on the sofa after that, and I see them texting each other, and I could tell by the way that they were giggling. And I'm just kind of watching. I'm asking a bunch of questions, and Riley finally turns around and says, "Mom, what is with all the questions?" I said, "Babe, I'm curious about her. You love her, and I want to love her too, as much as you do, for as long as you do. She's your person, so she's our family now." And I don't think that she got it, not at first. So when she brought home her second partner, I made every effort to like the girl. I wasn't able to spend enough time with her. So I promised myself that the next time that Riley brought somebody home, that I would make more of an effort to spend time with that person. And so she brought home Jackie. And this was about a month ago, a little bit more than a month ago, about 2 months ago. And Jackie was just this amazingly, I can't even think of the word to describe her. She was this amazingly loving, sweet girl. And when I met her, I asked a lot of questions, and this time Riley didn't question me, but Jackie answered all the questions, and she says, "Can I call you Mom?" And I said, "Why not? I mean, technically, I'm your other mom." So my heart just grows. It grows. I mean, look, I love you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You can bring me in
Where's the pup?
on my lap sleeping.
Let me see it. Oh, come on. Let me see.
Let me figure it out.
Lift it up. Let's see it. Let's
We'll
see the baby.
We got disconnected somehow from.
We're still live.
Yeah, but we're not live in Atlanta. We're in London.
Uh-oh. Oh my God. Are you serious? What's her name?
Shady.
Shady. Oh my God. I'm so glad Luna's not here. I would be in so much trouble. She wants one. She wants one of those specifically.
We're apparently back on in London, but still not in.
So let me just talk while you fix that so people can get some quality.
What you also do, of course, the actual purpose of Mirror
My tarot, yeah. I can actually pull for you today. I haven't done a reading for you in a while.
Now we're back.
You ready? Just like that.
Do it.
Well, let's do this because I made a prediction and you said it was beginning to come true.
Right.
A couple weeks back, about a month back. So I cleaned my deck off and I have it right here just for you. You hear the shuffle?
So you cleaned what now?
The deck, the tarot deck.
Yeah,
I know where your mind went.
Made me hear a slightly different thing.
Of course. I will next time say I cleaned my cards just for you. I cleansed them. I'd love to come on camera, but I've got way too much going on here in the background. So,
that's all right.
Plus the little one running back and forth doing her thing. So here we go. Let's pull for Ross. Oh, Ross, you're coming out of this financial thing. I know you've been feeling it, but you're coming out of it, which is good. And you're coming out of this thing where you're perpetually single. It's not happening. You're really not.
So you've got some. Or is that when it actually goes away?
Stop. There's a person coming. But you and I are going to have to talk about that because you've also got this. I mean, that was the Two of Cups. The Five of Pentacles, Two of Cups, and the Devil. This means you could possibly become codependent on this person. Please do not do that. Please do not allow someone to come in and make you feel like they are in charge. That is not your vibe.
No,
No.
you've got the equality.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're gonna have this wake up call soon. Three of Wands. You. This arrival of your success. I mean, it's things are working for you. They're doing great. You're doing great. But you've also got the Three of Cups, and this is about community. So you are a community builder. Focus on that because it's your community that's going to be bringing in all of the things that are going to propel you. So there's going to be people. There are people. There are going to be people who continue to assist you.
Nice.
It's so it's funny because I had this weird dream last night, and I'm looking at the little symbol on the bottom of your camera there, your picture, and it reminds me of part of the dream that I had.
Which one? Triangle?
The triangle, which I like to call the Triforce.
Okay.
It is not the Triforce, but it reminds me of the Triforce from The Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah, the center part
I
of
can't
it.
see it. It's small there, but it's actually an infinite triangle, one of those optical illusions.
No, I can see that.
Okay.
I can see that. But yeah, silly dreams last night. I don't know why. Let's see what else is happening for you. Again, with this epiphany that you're having and the success. I mean, things are happening. You've got, hold on a second. Okay.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here. Just wanted to let you know that the last card that I pulled was the Ace of Wands, and that is just a spark. It's like things are happening, like that stick of dynamite. You light the stick of
Right.
dynamite, it's gonna explode. And on the bottom of the deck is the Page of Pentacles, which is the town crier. He's like, hear you, hear you. Ross is going to be making quite a bit of money very soon. All this, all these royalties are coming to you, as well as abundance in many areas, not just money, people, because people they're a resource for us,
Right.
guests, friends, family. Yeah. So my page, go click on my page, Ross. You see,
You're actually on the screen right now. Marcella.com.
yeah, I saw that. Go click on it so you can see it. So it's almost done. We're still adding pages to it. We're going to add a product page for the things that Luna's selling, but the tarot page is there. And there'll be a page for my program, the Inner Child Healing Program. It's going to be a fun site. We're going to be featuring a lot of people. You'll be there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
And oh yeah. I mean, we'll have to have clips of our show. I think we'll do what the girls they keep making fun of me for. There, you see that right there?
Right.
Luna has created her own Major Arcana tarot deck, and that's one of them. That's a preview of her deck.
Very cool.
Yeah, 12-year-old vibes.
Is she very, I mean, apparently on some level, but is she very artistic?
You know what? The next time I come on, I will share, with her permission, the next time I come on, I will share pictures with you of some of her art. She doodles mostly, but like sometimes she'll say, I'm just doodling. And then you look at it and it's this anime character. And it's like, wow, that's just doodling. Imagine if you just sat down and tried to sketch someone.
Right.
So, do I have permission to share some of your stuff next time with Ross? Yeah, sure. You hear that? Yeah, sure. Yeah, she's pretty amazing for her age, and she taught herself.
Oh,
She
she's
just sat
pretty
down
amazing.
one day she sat down one day and started sketching, and that was that. Now she's attempting still life. So she painted a pear the other day. Don't know what that was about, but I guess it comes with the territory. Everybody does a bowl of fruit at some point, right?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is that they're the best subjects because they don't move.
Fruit. I suppose so. I genuinely love all of her sketches. Sometimes she'll just do something, and when she was smaller, I used to let her ride on my arm when we were on the bus. It would help to soothe her. And she would leave my whole arm. People would stare too. It's like, I guess they didn't get it, but she needed an outlet. And if I could make her feel comfortable, I was going to do that. So I've got pictures of my arm, and I do this in finger quotes, tatted up by Luna. And the little images there too, it's pretty freaking adorable. Some of the stuff that she would do. Um, Somebody even said to me one time, "Is that a marshmallow on a stick?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm sending both pictures, two pictures that I should have saved all of them, but I just sent you two pictures so you can see just from doodling what
Oh
she
wow.
can do." Yeah. Do you see that?
I do. Let's see if I can switch over to that now and put that up. Du-du-du-du-du.
Yeah,
Right.
we actually suggested she goes into you want to open up one of those pictures?
Yeah, let me see if I can. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah, cherries, or I thought they were click clacks. Remember click clacks from our childhood?
Yeah.
The little frog, the moon up there, and again, this is on a moving bus that she did this. There's I guess that's a goblet on the bottom, a battery.
That one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go to the next picture. There you go. So we've got the moon, the marshmallow on a stick. There's a cactus on one side, a strawberry, a yin yang, and the other one was just some crazy sun with a pentagram in it. She still has trouble with flames, but this is the kind of stuff she would do. And I'd be on the bus, and she would just be drawing.
That marshmallow
Mm-hmm.
with the stick, that is so
Yeah.
cool. So because we're also on radio,
Yeah.
I don't know why that just crapped out, but with her permission and your permission, I'm also going to put it in the show notes so people can check in on that later.
The two pictures, yeah. I think do you mind if Ross shares my arm tattoo that you used to do? She said she does not mind at all. Thank you, Luna.
Good thing. All right, my dear.
Yep.
Check in with Marcella. Go to marcella.com, MARCCELLA.com. Get your reading. This money thing she was telling me about, she told me about that, 9 months ago?
Possibly.
I know people are going to say that I'm like manifesting this myself, like I'm trying to pick something in my life that's relevant to what you said.
Sure,
Believe
why
me,
not?
getting too personal. This is 100% what you said was going to happen. I had an issue last year with my homeowner's insurance that raised suddenly. It caused my mortgage to raise because it's built into it, caused me to fall behind on the mortgage. And then, there were other things. First of all, I had to get that issue with the house fixed so the mortgage comes back down and the insurance comes down.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now I've got to get caught up on the mortgage. I find a law firm in California that specializes in situations just like that. Got everything that I was behind put at the end of it. So in 30 years from now, which I don't even anticipate this going that long before I pay it off, that's when I got to deal with that back amount. And then my credit back to where it was before all this happened. Right as this happened, I was about to hit 700 on a credit score, which I've never had in my life, even during the Secret Service. But now I need to get this thing fixed, and I'm so close to fully monetizing radio. And I'm on my way 2 or 3 weeks ago now to an interview at one of the stations in Tampa. And I hit a curb and blow not one, but 2 tires. And ever since then, my minivan has been sitting out front with 2 flat tires. To get all of this done, the roof for the insurance. Some I'm getting another mic tomorrow, which isn't a big deal compared to everything else, but it's something that's really it's a better quality mic even than the good one I got now, and it's going to really help me forward. And like you said, royalties. It's really going to help forward all of my shows,
Mhm.
Yerg's Radio
Yep.
and Mastiff Media, and yeah, it's all coming to fruition. Point being, and this girl is spot on. There's other things. Uh, there's other things that she's told me in other readings that are totally 100%. I believe in this. I've had experiences in my life. It's not just us. You know, the president is not the most powerful man or soon to be possibly woman. There's much greater power than nuclear. And just because we don't necessarily understand it doesn't mean that it's not there. Or that we can't harness it doesn't mean that it's not there. And this girl's part of it. Whether I'm a bestie or whatever, this wife.
Thank you.
Likewise, dear.
All
I
right.
will talk to you sooner. But
Yep. Love you. I'll see you soon.
All right. Marcella, everybody. Thank you, my dear. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
All right. See you, dear. Marcella.com, MarcellA.com. And it is time for another break, actually. So 99.1 WDJY, 1490 WWPR, even though we're not with them today. The UG.media in London. America One Radio, also in Atlanta. And, of course, the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after these words.
Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yerg's. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yerg's and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yerg's Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is gotta be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversial presidential election. I have an actual question, legitimate question, as a political scientist and historian by education. If you are a Trump supporter, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your appeal to Donald Trump is at this time. Please email me news, N-E-W-Z, at yergs.com. News, N-E-W-Z, at yergz.com. Thanks. Participants must be willing to provide their contact information, answer a series of questions, and then have their first name broadcast over the radio and social media relevant to Up the Middle.
All right, gang. Just checking all the things that we've been missing out on for the past so DNC Day today. Why? Yeah, we're on there too. Nice. DNC Day today. One of the things I definitely want to talk about, and I will all week until it happens, until we're over with it. Another thing, we got to do that. Absolutely got to do that. Toast of the morning sauce. Today's toast to everyone out there in Facebook land, Twitter space, and wherever else in the, as some of the knuckleheads of the world call it, the interwebs, also known as the internet. To all of you who are dug so deep in with those heels, 12-inch heels probably, and just refuse to realize that you have been had by a professional fraudster, by a world-class bullshitter. Here is to you. A toast of the morning sauce in your direction. For never giving up, no matter how stupid you look, no matter how ignorant you look or are. And what I'm not going to stop talking about is something that didn't happen, that I suspect will happen in spades this week. At the end of every party's convention, their candidate gets, even if only temporary, their candidate gets a boost in the polls, in positivity in media. And with Trump, and certainly with Vance, that did not happen. Like, at all. It was not only virtually the same as, before going into it. It was the same as before going into it. The Republicans got, I've got the most adorable puppy on my lap right now. The Republicans got absolutely no bounce from their own convention. Now, there's, as everybody now knows, the historic change that brought on Kamala Harris. And I love how people are saying there was a coup. I have been saying that Republicans, I'm going to get this right, that the MAGA movement, they're not Republicans. That the MAGA movement has excelled since 2016 in projection. Whatever it is they're doing to screw up or are guilty of, they have been pushing on the rest of the world. Well, what coup are you talking about? January 6th was not a rally. It was not a riot from a rally gone wrong. It was not an insurrection. It was a coup. They planned for this, and this is this is not me talking as a former Secret Service agent, somebody that's been in place, somebody that's been behind the curtain. This is all open source information that so many people just absolutely refuse to discuss, or to, more importantly, to find in the first place. Oh, somebody's dreaming. And I got to see if I still have a work wife. Well, I'm not going to put a number on it, but another work wife joining us today. Jane Stahl is due in right about now. But yeah, so zero boost for the Republicans. Now tonight is day one. Day one for the Democrats. And, you know, all I'm hearing is, and yep, London's working. By the way, shout out to everybody, especially if you're still with us after some of the technical issues earlier in this hour. Somehow we lost all of the radio broadcasting. Most of it came back right away. 99.1 in Atlanta and the UGXL in London needed to revamp, and we got them back. I'm listening to them in the earpiece right now. Then the camera and the video feed froze. So, yeah, it's going to be a huge overhaul or inspection. I don't know what I should call it, but definitely going to be making sure things are going to be doing better. So the jump that never happened last, what was it now, 2 or 3 weeks ago? The RNC should have given Trump Vance, and you know, you only have to change 2 letters on previous year's signs to reuse that sign for the formerly the Trump-Pence campaign. The P becomes a V, as in Vance, Victor. And the E in Pence, the first E in Pence, becomes an A in Vance. And NCE stays the same. So in the event that you have to spend more money on legal fees, you can easily recycle signs, yard signs. I saw one guy in my neighborhood, one of the few Trump signs I'm seeing this time around, by the way. One guy in my neighborhood did, he cut the sign in half and just cut Pence off the bottom and just said, Trump, make America Trump. That's a bad idea. But since the big change, which one of the things I think, like Trump in 2016, who was a new toy. Here's not a politician. He's the successful business person, which, by the way, was part of his bullshit. The guy's been bankrupt 6 times. He was already rich. He didn't grow or make himself anything. He lost it. And Daddy Freddie came to the rescue. 6 times. I helped my kid with gas money 6 times. He helps this kid, his kid, Trump, with a fortune. So anyway, relatively, I won't say absolutely none, but we'll say relatively zero bounce from the Republican convention, which should not have happened. They should, without question, have been jumped. Nope. Trying to change backgrounds here on the video feed. There we go. Without question, should have jumped, even if it came back down, which is also normal. It should have at least jumped for 30 seconds. Then maybe we all slept through it. But literally nothing happened. I guess figuratively nothing happened, because there is always constant movement, because there's constant surveys being taken, polls being taken that are geared for people to keep themselves relevant in the media. I mean, think about it. Florida is a red state, with the exception of the Tampa, St. Pete area. Hillsborough and Pinellas counties, respectively, are Democrat. But that's not near enough to make Florida even purple. Miami also has Democrat areas. That's it. This is Hicksville, Trump country. And one of the things you need to do in politics is win your own state. Can I tell you that in this Republican area, it is now 50 to 47, still in Trump's favor. But to say that's within the margin of error is a hello. Of course it is. 3 points. And that 47 is Kamala. I am not hearing from my other co-host today. Send her a quick message here. And we'll do an episode of Both Sides Now as well. But yeah, 50 to 47 in his favor. So, he's still winning. But good Lord, here with all the Hicksville, Trump country. I got to take a quick break. I'm about to lose 99.1 WDJY in Atlanta. If you folks want to join us, come over to Yergz, YERGZ, radio.com. Let me see if I got that up somewhere. I don't. That's weird. Oh, there we go. There's the websites. YergzRadio.com, YERGZ radio.com, or rainbowradio.gay. Same thing for America One Radio. We're going to be losing you at the top of the hour. Come on over to either of those stations and join us for the second hour. Remember, Monday and Friday, we are 11 to 1 Eastern, 4 p.m., I think that is, to 6 p.m. London time, whatever time zone that is. We will be staying on the UG. Go to the UG, like underground. And you can use this site too, by the way. theug.media. Like Mastiff Media is mastiff.media, ug.media, and go to UGXL. When you click on Listen Live, they actually have two channels. We are on XL. So yeah, let me see if Jane's going to be joining us. We'll do the switch from one to the other. And if I don't see you again, then I'll see you again tomorrow, 11 o'clock, 99.1 WDJY, America One Radio, and the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. Uh, I've been chatting during that with Jane. And speaking of, I need to do the right thing here because it is saying that we're still on in Atlanta, and that's not right. So there was, as you guys remember, there was a technical issue last week, and I think we need. I think we need a new. Jane used the link from last week, and I don't think that's. I don't think that's the right one. So my software for going onto the radio, the internet radio, says we are still. Says we are still. What the hell hasn't arrived yet? Uh, I mean, like, where else would it be? Yeah, it went out. It just went out from one of the other addresses. Yeah, she got it. Okay. I thought I sent it from my Yerg's address. I sent it from my Yerger group address. But point being, with all this being, we're still on according to my system in Atlanta, and I got to fix that. It's not cool to the other show that might be there. Um, so let's see what comes up. Oh, I gotta cut that. That's not okay. We're still on in Atlanta. 99.1 WDJY. I will let Atlanta management know about this. Usually we get cut off right away automatically by their system. And for whatever reason, that's not happening. So, yeah, I'm still sick. Let me see if I can disconnect that. There we go. Showing disconnected now. And hopefully something else will kick in. Oh, actually, you know what? Forget about it. We do have it. We do have 2 hours for today. That's still us. Ugh, I need a producer. Oh, oh, this is so painful. All right. Well, it is time for both sides now. So, if those of you haven't thrown in a towel and are still actually with us, God love you. Because I'm about to jump out a window. There's some things I also need to do. There. All right, let's get rid of that. All this. There we go. And now we've talked to one work wife who's now demoted me to work bestie. Here's my other work wife. Welcome.
Hello there. Happy
Hey, sorry.
Monday.
Oh, it's certainly a Monday, isn't it? Good
I
Lord.
think it is still Monday, and welcome to Both Sides Now, audience. Thank you
Yes.
for hanging in there as we get
Oh, thank you.
ourselves situated. Yes, yes, no problem. I'm just glad it wasn't me. Not a techno giant here.
I gotta.
What do you have in your arms?
Yeah, we
It
gotta
looks like a
mission to the family.
puppy.
It is, and she's trying to sleep.
Do we have a new
She's trying to sleep.
puppy?
We do. I did not put this on Facebook. I should be shot.
Oh my God. What kind of puppy and what is her name?
She is shady,
Shady.
as
Okay.
in like I don't know how this came about, but as in like Slim Shady,
Yep, yep,
the
yep,
persona from
yep.
Eminem. She's a pit bull
Is she real? And where did she come from? Hopefully some
across the street.
across the street.
My son Zach hangs out with this guy that lives across the street because they're both motorheads. You know, this guy's amazing as far as being
Okay.
into cars. For what he's doing in his front yard, he is restoring a sports car. We'll just leave it at that. It's a the what is it, Dodge? I think the Hellcat. It looks like the
Okay.
Camaro and um,
Okay.
the old body Camaro, like the new ones that are out now.
Mm-hmm.
Gets that into an accident. He's doing all the body work, did a bunch of other things to it. paid like $300 in fines because you're not allowed to have something like that uh, on your front
Oh,
yard. We don't do the trashy look in this county. So,
I see.
uh, and I wasn't a fan of it either. But Zach said, get to know the guy. Don't just go
Mhm.
hating right away. So I did, and I'm glad. He's good person, hard worker. He's literally up all night working on that car. Sleeps a little bit in the afternoon because he's up in the morning. He's a software engineer. He's a government contractor software engineer. So I'm like,
Oh,
well, he should be making a lot more money than to have to rent the small house across the street from us. But I don't know the whole story. I'm learning some of it, and there were some hardships with his now ex fiance.
mm, always
Um,
difficult. Yep.
yeah. So anyway, I don't even know why I was going anywhere with that, but oh, where the
The
puppy came
puppy.
from. He has various colleagues that drop in and help work on his cars and do whatever. Excuse me, sorry. This just I usually try to mute the mic, but it sneaks. It comes up so sudden.
Mm.
I can't. And what's been happening now is a nightly episode of sleep paralysis where I wake up gasping for air in the middle of the night.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Not awesome.
No, I've
Now,
read about it on like a lot of like um with the med.com or something uh reputable medical websites. It's actually not something to be worried about, but it could be indicative of something that is to be worried about, like sleep apnea,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
which both my parents have.
Whoa.
So there's that.
So you're going for a sleep study soon?
Yeah, and I got to. And I mean, just not only because of this, but the fact that both my parents, who are only 20 years older than I am, um, have had it. My dad's had it for a while. And so the puppy, however, sound asleep on my lap, does not have it. She dreams occasionally, but I think she's a little too young. Matrix has one or two dreams nightly where he does like the running in place and kicks me in the ass or scratches my back with his claws or something and doesn't know it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the puppy came from the guy who works on the cars across the street?
Ish. Yeah. So um, one of his colleagues is trying to get rid of these puppies, drops four off with him in like some rush to get out of town.
Oh my.
Nobody knows why that was. Just that alone can kind of give us a pretty good clue. And so he's got to get out of town. He needs to get rid of these puppies. And he says to Larry, the guy across the street, just get rid of these. And he's like, well, they're pit bull puppies. That could be some money. And the guy's like, yeah, I don't have time. And beats feet. So there were two boys, two girls. The two boys went to, from as best as we know, and as best as he knows, other associates, good families, that kind of thing. And then the guys who dropped off the puppies, his mom comes and says she wants one.
Oh.
So she's got the other sister. When Zach was over there, there were two of the girls left, and this one apparently loved him. Now loves me.
I'm happy for you. A new
Yeah,
puppy. That's a That's that's inspiration and what? Hope for the future. It's like not getting
Not,
married
not,
and it's not having
yeah,
a
yeah, I was going to say,
baby, but getting a new dog.
not if, not if you want to go to Belize. It's not hope for the future.
Oh. Oh.
I'm the type that I don't want anybody
Oh.
else watching my dogs.
Yeah.
Um, I do, but like my ex who lives in Ohio, for him to come do it, that's his vacation time.
Yeah.
And he's less than a year at a new job. So he doesn't
Ah.
have a lot of that.
Yeah.
And while some of it he can work from home,
Mhm.
um, which means he could also work from down here, he couldn't do all of it. And so Belize is like every good dad. My projects are on hold until the kids' projects.
Um, until the kids grow up and
Yeah.
leave the nest one way or another.
And,
Gotcha.
and Matrix, I don't think he wants to admit it, but he's getting senior too.
Yeah.
And he's amazing with Shady. And he'll let her bite his jowls and, you know, try to like act like he's fighting her or she's fighting him.
Oh, that's
When
cool.
he gets tired of it, he just takes one of his big old paws and swats her. She goes flying across the room, bounces right back.
Kids are like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the news from you. That's wow. We have
I I've been
sleep
stressing over
paralysis
this.
and a puppy. What?
Yeah, I've been stressing over this for the past week, trying to remember if I did post this on Facebook that we've got an addition to the family. And
Ah.
apparently I didn't because there's a bunch of other people that have no idea. Like I think I did send something to mom and dad.
Okay.
And she says, "Whose is that?"
Now, pit
Mm,
bulls
yeah.
in Florida are worth some bucks.
Not for good reasons, I don't think. I
Oh,
think there's still animal
gotcha.
fighting, dog fighting.
Gotcha. That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not good. That's
This
not
one
good.
thinks she's a
So,
fighter.
no.
This one thinks she's a fighter.
Right. Well, she's going after a big dog daddy, huh?
Big brother.
Yeah.
But so yeah. And then Zach, in his infinite wisdom of getting a puppy,
Yeah.
still has a job at Dollar General.
Mm-hmm.
And today, and has a girlfriend he likes to spend weekends with.
Okay.
That's another thing that I thought kind of awkward and weird or whatever. But she's 18, and they've got no problem. I mean, technically she's an adult, but they've got no problem with him spending the weekend
Wow.
at their house. And this past weekend, they weren't even there. They were at like some summer place somewhere. I'm like, okay, she's 18. There's that legal thing. Everybody's safe.
Right.
But when this ain't the only baby we're holding, this puppy, don't be surprised,
Yep.
because I was 19 once too.
Yep.
Don't tell Susie that.
So stress has elevated, I would guess, in your particular household for a variety of reasons.
No, I mean the sleep paralysis,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think I grind my teeth, but I bite real hard overnight. 9 months ago, year and a half ago, I would wake up with the worst jaw pain in the morning. And they said that's because you're clenching your teeth while you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor that's got me on the anxiety med said that's anxiety, it's stress.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I can feel like Jack Lignelli, who you interviewed on
Mm-hmm.
Be Inspired podcast,
Mm-hmm.
when I was in high school, took my wisdom teeth out.
Okay.
There was one, I think it was in the top right, that was too heavily impacted. They couldn't get the whole tooth, or they couldn't get it at all. I don't know. Perhaps that coupled with this biting while sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
my upper row of teeth are starting to cut in,
Hmm.
like noticeably. And I can feel those three molars in the back with maybe it's a wisdom tooth with it that is like rubbing against each other. Like I can put floss in between them and pull back. Like I'm using that to like temporary braces. And I feel the pressure alleviate for
Huh.
that short moment.
Well, it sounds like you need another trip to Jack Lignelli.
That and or braces because
One
I
or
got
the
crooked.
other.
I've got
Because
crooked bottom teeth, and
you
mom
do.
has that. Yeah, yeah. There's just a little bit of an overlap. Mom has that, and she's actually going to have to get the one pulled because it moved so much that it's like poking out.
Huh.
I
Yes,
guess we're both
well,
too old for braces.
getting older is no fun, right?
Yeah.
It's
Oh
not
my
for
god.
sissies. Hmm. So,
Well,
medical talk,
so your
puppy
turn.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, 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 no. I mean, I'm still, what? I'm still, I'm still dedicated. There you go. To try to
Yeah.
get rid of whatever I've got going on in my lower back and my hip. But eh,
Is
exercise.
so.
Gotta exercise. Yes.
Yeah, and I haven't been, to be honest.
Hmm. I've got the greatest
Ye-
PT team. They're just fantastic. So I work with
Good,
them.
because
Yeah.
I I got up for the past second half of last week and through the weekend with a, a pain in my ass,
Whoa.
literally. Um, it's like my butt cheek was sore from working out, and Zach said, "Oh, somebody's reaching around here." Zach said, "That's from sitting in a chair too long,"
Uh-huh. I was just gonna say.
and
I
like,
was just
yeah,
gonna say. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. 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 You got to get one of those standing desks also.
this is one.
Is it?
This is one. Yeah,
Are you
but
standing
be,
now? No, of course
no,
not.
no.
You have a puppy on your lap.
That, and also I have lights and cameras hanging,
Yeah, I know. I know.
and
It's real
I
tough.
should be sitting better, and my head would actually be. Can you see it?
Yes, you have
I've got
puppy
puppy
ears.
ears. Yeah, the Mastiff Media logo that's
I
on the
love
green
that.
screen behind me
Yeah, that's awesome.
is, yeah, it's centered right in my headshot.
Yeah.
So when I'm sitting in the camera, I'm in front of that logo, and the
Yeah.
ears on the dog. I'm doing this for
I
everybody
love
on the
it.
radio.
I love it. I
Uh,
love it. There's a guy who comes into the art gallery always wearing his headphones. And he came in the other day without his headphones, and I did not recognize him because he did not
wow.
have his ears on. Yeah, it was really scary. I looked at him and I thought, I know who this is. Who is this? And finally, it occurred to me he wasn't wearing his headphones, and I didn't recognize him. That's pretty sad.
Wow.
I know.
Did
I
he
know.
did he notice that?
I did not mention it to him. I
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the next time he comes in, I think if he comes in without his headphones, I might have to mention it to him. But anyway, so
he's gonna be, but
today,
that's an identity thing. If you know
yes,
him from the headphones, tell him,
yes.
he'll be, I think he'll be tickled about that.
Do you think?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, somebody's
Anyway,
stretching.
so today, are you excited? My husband is.
Yeah.
The
I was
Democratic
my first
National
shower was up.
Convention. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be an interesting evening of TV, an interesting
Lem-
week of TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me see if you are aware of this. What should happen? I'm going to leave this general to see if it's something that, pops up in your head.
Okay.
What should happen at the conclusion of each party's convention?
Bumps.
Yes, that didn't happen for Trump.
No. It'll be really interesting to see if there is a post convention bump for Harris and Walls.
I I don't see why not, because everything about them is normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's going to come back down,
Yes. Because
and
they
that's
always
also
do.
normal. That's
Yep.
also consistent.
Yep. But we
But
know enough
whatever,
anyway not to rely too much on polls
yeah, I
given
don't.
2016, right? Yeah.
Right.
So, but it's still exciting. Now, do you think, you know, yeah, I have heard that, tonight is dedicated to Biden. Okay. And he's giving the keynote speech, and, there's this passing the torch kind of thing. And it's supposed to be a love fest for Joe and whatnot. But then after tonight, he's leaving town. He doesn't want to stick around because he's still ticked off with the
No,
Democratic leadership. That's what I'm hearing. What are you
no,
hearing? Or what do you know?
no. So there is some symbolism. There is some symbolism with him being at the front and not at the end. Like Kamala won't be there tonight.
No?
No, I don't think so. Um,
They're on the
the
bus?
candidate doesn't usually get there until the end.
Okay.
Toward like the second to last day or the evening of the second to last day.
Unlike Trump, who needed to be there
Right.
beginning to end.
He
Yes.
needed to be the first one through the door.
Yes.
Um, they don't usually get there till towards the end. And that's all symbolic at this point. Because when conventions were first when conventions were first had, oh, when conventions were first had,
Held.
you didn't know who the nominee was.
True.
Hi, baby. You didn't know who the nominee was. That's what the convention was for.
Right. Cast your votes for whoever it is you wanted to lead the party. Yeah.
And so now, so much of that is done
Mm-hmm.
that you kind of sort of know now. And so there's no reason for that person to be there. Because one of the things they would do is they would be going elector to elector lobbying for that person's vote.
Okay.
That doesn't happen anymore. And so they don't come until later. And that's a symbolism of they're the finale.
Okay.
And because, again, that's when also the vote would take place. There still is a vote that takes place. But just like the certification of the Electoral College,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a ceremony.
Yeah.
It's an
And
official
so
ceremony, but
what
it's
you're
a ceremony.
saying is when Biden leaves, that's part of the symbolism.
Yeah, actually.
But have you heard that he is angry with the Democratic top guys who kind of pushed him out?
I have not heard that. I would not be surprised. I was not for it. But in retrospect, I think the way it's going now,
Yeah.
I think it was a better move.
Yeah.
And I hate saying that because this is a guy who has been serving his country, whether you like him or not. He changed on this position and is now in that position. And they want to bring back literally 30-year-old sound bites of when he said, I don't know, I'm not for gay marriage.
Yeah, yeah.
Things change.
Mm-hmm.
And with anything, not just that, but any subject that he is able to adapt with the times and with his constituents, better for him. Good for him. But this is a guy who has literally been serving at the federal level for as long as I've been alive. The guy deserves a vacation.
I think so too. I was happy to see him on the beach.
Yeah. And I know it's hard, as having studied presidents
Mm-hmm.
specifically as part of my political science degree and history degree. Anything that we can do at the Secret Service after they leave to make them still look presidential, like turn the lights on,
Mm-hmm.
they love. That is a really depressing and hard time when they leave the White House
Mm-hmm.
because they are the president.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he feels for
The heck?
everything that he's done.
Yeah, who am I now? Am
Yeah.
I
I think he feels let
anybody
down. I think he feels
now?
let down that he didn't have that
Sure.
support.
Yep. And
I
it's a
think he was,
testimony to the fierceness, to the warrior spirit that the guy had, and to assume that he's just going to go quietly into the, you know, into the night
yeah,
is not realistic.
right.
But what he'll want to do is find somewhere where he can continue to help. So it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see what direction he goes. Now,
Yeah,
there was
they all
some
keep
effort in
yeah,
the
they all
there
keep a secured security clearance. Like Trump is the only past president that isn't being called by the president for advice. And
right.
believe it or not, they don't like talk about this a lot, but they do reach across the aisle. Like
I would
Biden
guess.
would
Hmm.
call Bush,
Hmm.
and Obama certainly did.
Hmm.
Like for example, when he got bin Laden, knowing that was something that Bill N.W. tried to do. I just heard him do an interview about this. He calls Bill to discuss, you know, after the fact.
Hmm.
Bill has no idea what he's talking about. And he's like, didn't Hillary tell you? And she was so, he doesn't need to know. I'll wait.
Hmm.
And so Bill Clinton had no idea that we got bin Laden
No kidding.
until Obama called him after the fact.
Wow.
But yeah, Trump is
Yeah,
the only one getting a
so
call.
Joe will be on the phone, probably offering some counsel and advice as part of his retirement activities, is what you're suggesting.
Always. Yeah.
Always, yes. And
Um,
maybe he'll spend more time on the moonshot, cure for cancer,
yeah.
and
And being a grandfather, for God's sake.
well, all that too.
Yeah. I mean, go sit on the
On
beach.
I know, I know, I know, I know. But it's interesting, even in my little world, and I'm sure you had the same experience, but even in my little world, the September after I retired, I'm sitting on the deck holding on to the chair, you know, thinking, I gotta go. I gotta get to
Yeah.
school. And then realizing that wasn't going to happen. And fleeting moments. It only lasted about 2 minutes probably, but who am I now? What
Yeah.
is my identity now until I picked up some, other things to do. So,
I have kind of mixed emotion feelings about, how that went for me.
I'm sure.
Um, I don't miss it. And so many, when they retire, colleagues of mine, when they retire, they get right into the security job
Mhm.
or the fraud investigator
Mhm.
because that's what we did. Those the two main things.
Mhm.
Could not give a crap.
And let me just say, I did not miss all the going to school things either. I celebrated every day like it was a snow day. It
Yeah.
was absolutely, absolutely liberating. Yeah.
The irony of everything now, I was immediately in this house
Okay.
without any furniture or dishes or anything like that. I had nothing to do. I mean, I had plenty to do. I just had nothing to do it with. Oh, you want to roll around a little?
Puppy's awake.
Yep, we're awake. Say
Oh,
hi to everybody.
hello. Oh, baby, look at those ears. Oh my God,
Yep.
I love the ears.
And the
Oh,
big puppy yawn. Oh, there it is. Puppy
there we
yawn.
go. Yeah.
That's a big puppy. Puppy yawn.
Hmm.
I would be up. I went and bought this air mattress that I still have and use for myself when mom and dad take over my bed. Um, I slept on that because it's all I had. I would be up by 7 o'clock every day. I was just so rejuvenated. I
Mhm.
mean, the thought process was when I figured out what I was going to make in retirement.
Mhm.
This was literally what I said. You're going to pay me $72,000 a year to not come to work? I,
Hmm.
if I still want to make six figures, I can go be a greeter at Walmart.
Mhm.
And I didn't need to. In retirement, I'm in the upper chain, the upper shelf
Yep.
of most of the people in Florida.
Yep.
So now getting into radio, I'm going to be rich.
Oh, yes. Well, you're doing this for fun, I know, not
Well,
necessarily for profit.
eventually.
That would be
I, I
good.
worked on I worked on what are called air checks last night that I'm going to send to program directors at stations
Okay.
because I'm kind of gunning for some sort of news talk or even morning show,
Mhm.
which is the morning show. That's like the flagship show of any station. So
Right.
I'm not banking on that,
Mhm.
but there is a station near to here that's looking for that. And the brokerage station that I'm with in the Tampa area down in Bradenton said they'll make the adjustments to move me to the mornings if I get that other job.
Fantastic.
Now I would be on two terrestrial stations that are also on the internet, of course, maybe. But what that does, because they're smaller, they don't individually cover the entire nature coast, the entire Tampa Bay Gulf Coast.
Right.
Together, they do.
Cool.
And so that's my sales pitch, my angle is that yeah, I'm going to be doing the show from home. But your name is now down on the southern end of the Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And when I give call letters, I also give websites. And people will, listen to you from the other end of the region.
Very good.
Part of
Very
that is
good.
also bringing back local news coverage, which because you do it firsthand as well,
Mm-hmm.
has gone away.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, the news story that I did to show them how I do the news is a story about WCBS coming off the air later this month.
No kidding.
One of the oldest radio stations in history
Wow.
will be no more.
No kidding. Wow. Times are changing.
Yeah. And that's what I want to help do is use the terrestrial radio, which I really don't think, because of like the ease of putting it into a car and at least being some sort of minimal type of communication for traffic, weather while
Right,
you're
right,
driving,
right, right.
will not go away for that reason.
Yep.
But the Bradenton station and the Atlanta station don't give me Nielsen ratings, which is what a radio station goes by. They have to subscribe to that. But their own web provider tells them how many people visit the actual page where their player is located on their website. So that's how you know how many people are listening, because it's the only thing on that page. You're not going there for any other reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, try to. I'm not saying I'm going to be like the next Howard Stern or who's the other guy that I did, um, Paul Harvey. But every little bit helps.
So, where will you be during the convention? Are you broadcasting during the convention tonight?
I don't know if I can tonight or not, because Sportcat, Glenn Jackson, used to have a Monday night show during the, I don't know, United Football League or USFL, whatever the summer football league was.
Okay.
It's in the spring and the early summer now.
Okay.
And then when that ended, he does a talk show that focuses on Big Brother, the
Okay.
TV
Oh,
show
okay.
Big Brother.
Yeah. I hate that show.
I don't get it.
Paul
But
watched
yeah,
it for many seasons and I would leave the
oh,
room. I
you
could
got to tell
not.
Paul about this show.
Pardon me?
Tell Paul about Sportcat's show.
I
He's got to
should.
listen to.
He
Uh,
finally gave it up. I
but
mean,
it's like,
we are diehard fans of Survivor, but Big Brother couldn't go there. But it's so today, I think,
yeah,
in
yeah,
terms of how people relate to each other. It's just so, to
yeah.
me,
Oh
it's
yeah,
just pathetic. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Well, I was hoping that you and I would be able to play some kind of um, um, convention bingo.
Oh
Either
yeah.
that either that or a
We're gonna
drinking
do a
game of
drinking game. Yeah.
some kind, and I
You
went
almost
to
mentioned
the
the
I went
coffee.
to the internet to see it, and in fact, they do have bingo cards for tonight
Oh
or for the
wow.
convention. So, I mean, and I thought it might be interesting
Where'd
to
you
see
get that?
which on the
Can you send
internet.
me a link?
I
Okay.
I plugged in bingo cards politics, and bunches of them came up, and there's one even for tonight. Would you like to know some of the items
Yeah. I
on the
don't know how this
bingo
should work.
card? Okay, so if the candidates mention any of these things, we get to
Okay.
yeah, we get to score a point. All right. So, do you want to guess about some of the topics that are on here? Or do you want me to tell you the topics that are on
Um,
here?
I can do my own speech and um, DNC bingo. There we go. Well, I could cheat and look off this one too.
Oh, you're on the internet now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you found them too.
So I have one. Oh, that's 2020. That's
Yeah.
not gonna.
Well, there's Harris and Trump. No, excuse
Yeah.
me. There's a whole convention one tonight. There's of course a presidential debate. That's another bingo card, and that would be fun to play. You know,
See, I
who
actually get
says
to
it
say this one.
first? What?
One of the squares says, "I know Joe Biden." I actually get to say that.
That's very cool. So, on this card, they're betting that what's her name will mention border czar, or that border czar Kamala, called
Yeah.
the border czar, will be brought up. Of
So
course,
I'm hearing
Trump's
that.
age will be brought up.
I'm hearing the border czar thing from both sides. That she was actually called the border czar, and that
By
Biden.
that's not what I heard. I
Okay,
heard the
but
border
I've
czar
heard the
came
other
from,
side
yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah. But my understanding of her role, at least initially, even though people wanted her to solve the immigration issue, was to go to other countries and find out, or try to figure out, why so many people were leaving their home country, to see
Yeah.
maybe what could be done to
Try to
stay
stop
that.
it. Oh, that's a
Yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a
And of
first.
course, we're nation building, and that never works out well. So, way too complicated. And
Well, that's
so,
our foreign policy has always sucked. We always go into places like Iraq,
oh,
Vietnam,
what are we
and
doing?
put in our type
What,
of government.
and
These people just
values
don't
and
understand. Yeah.
culture. But I mean, we did that. That's how this country was founded. We brought our culture and said, get out
Yeah.
of here, to the Native Americans. I mean,
Yeah.
it's who we are. Manifest destiny, all that sort of thing. We have not yet learned to respect the culture, I guess, of other people and allow them. I mean, we send missionaries all over the world to change people's religion. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. But that's
Am I
just my
starting to sound bad?
what?
Can you hear me?
Yes. In fact, I was
I
going to
sound-
comment that your sound this week is better than it has been.
Does it still sound like that?
Well, you just picked up some gravel from somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, this is. I was.
Turning things on and off.
How about now?
Looks good. Sounds good.
Yep. Okay. So I actually talked about that in the first hour too,
You did.
and the device that's causing it, that I need to use this type of cable, which brings that better sound, is had to be powered two ways instead of one. So now it's got more energy going into it, and it's
Oh,
given more output, and
okay.
that's what's causing that static.
Gotcha.
So now I fixed it by putting that second power source in, and now it's happening again anyway.
Oh, brother.
Ugh.
No wonder
Anyway,
you have sleep problems.
yeah.
You just can't fix everything all at the same time. So anyway, I wanted to know, I'm glad you
Yep.
found your own bingo card,
Yeah.
but if you're not going to be watching live the convention, then it won't be as much fun. But I'll be thinking of you. I'll be thinking of
Is
you.
it? So
And I'm going
these
to
are all day.
say again,
These are all day.
right?
But is it really going to be
Well, I was
that much
thinking about the
activity?
keynote speech mostly.
Yeah. Yeah.
that kind of thing. During prime time, I'm not watching a
Right.
convention from beginning to end. That's for sure. I have things to
Yeah.
do. So anyway, I will be thinking of you during
That,
and I think I'm going to write down the time that each of these things are mentioned if I can keep up with it. I'm not exactly sure. So certainly they'll be mentioning taxes and abortion and the greatest president ever. And I wanted to ask you something also. One of the slots on this bingo card is Ukraine. And I
yeah.
notice that you've got a background going on of
Yep.
Ukraine's flag. Is that right?
Yep. Correct.
I love to see it.
Yeah. It seems to be an indicator as to where you lean politically,
Yes.
and that I don't have the Russian flag in the background.
Yes. I can see that. That'll be good.
I mean,
But anyway, shall we do, before we have to go, we have about, what, 10 minutes left of our hour together? So
yeah.
I wondered if we wanted to do one of our topics cards
Okay.
just to be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are two questions on the card, right?
Right.
And you go first, of course. When you
Oh.
make a mistake that others find funny, are you able to laugh at yourself?
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. I I laugh
Can
at myself as a rule first, and that is what has for years prevented other people from busting my balls,
it's a
because
defense tactic.
they hear me cut myself up and bust on my own stones, and they go, "Wow, he just said that about himself." He, I can only imagine what he's going to say about me. I'm just going to sit here and
Oh,
shut up.
that's kind of an interesting defense mechanism. Yes.
And it works.
Yes. Put the fear
And
of
then,
God in others.
yeah,
Interesting.
right.
Well, one of my triggers, to respond to this myself, one of my triggers is I hate looking stupid. I really do. So I've struggled with that. That's been a challenge for me to
Really?
try to. Yes. Yes. Am I getting
I'm
better
sure
at
you're.
it? Are you telling me you didn't
I,
notice? That's
well,
good news.
even back in ninth grade,
Mhm.
you always said how flaky you are.
Um, yes,
That's the word.
I have been
When you and I
trying. Yes.
first when you and I first started this, I alluded to that, and I could not use I could not think of
The
the
word.
word that you used
Yeah.
to
But
describe yourself.
well, let me tell you this story. My first day of teaching, right now, this was in Colorado. Not that that makes any difference whatsoever, but my first day of teaching, my colleagues before school started told me, now what you want to make sure to do is you don't smile at the students until Thanksgiving, and you don't laugh until Christmas. You need to present a serious model, right? And so my first
Okay.
day of teaching, I'm walking around and talking and, doing what I do, and I almost fell over the trash can. So that was the end of that. I mean, and so what I ended up doing was telling the students, I'm really sorry. I'm not good at this. I was instructed that I wasn't allowed, I shouldn't, in order to maintain good classroom control, I shouldn't smile until Thanksgiving and laugh until Christmas. Well, I didn't say it at the time, but fuck that, right? And so I decided, and the students responded to the authenticity of my flakiness, as you call it, and so it became part of my signature style,
Yeah.
as it were. And the fact that that's what you remember about me makes me very happy today,
Well, it's
because I
one of the things
really tried. I really tried to be able to laugh at myself all the time, in the classroom. And one of my favorite things in the classroom was when I would be teaching something, and every teacher will tell you that you can tell when you've got the students, when they really are plugged into what you're saying. And I used to love to stop right in the middle of that when I recognized it and say to them, "Aren't you glad you came today?" And of course, they would roll
I
their
remember that too,
eyes
actually.
and laugh at me. And, it just became a fun thing. They'd roll their eyes and say, "Oh, Miss Stahl, you are it's such an idiot." So, yeah, I'm glad you remember. I'm glad that's a memory that you have. Okay.
That's one of them, yeah. And we already talked about, of course, Gone with the Wind.
Oh, yes.
I'm still reading that book trying to find all the war scenes.
Oh, well, that book is funny. And maybe I've already said this to you on the air, but that book is funny because it was not a book I had ever read until I
Yeah.
had to teach it. And I used to, like when people would say something about Gone with the Wind, I'd pretend that I had read it. Oh, yes, amazing novel. What's her name? Incredible, writer,
Um,
Margaret Mitchell,
um,
incredible
yes.
writer. But I did not actually read it until I had to teach it. And I must tell you, I loved it so much. I only allowed myself to read 60 pages a day so that it would last. I didn't ever want it to end. I just loved it.
And that's like 800 or 900 pages.
Yes. Yes, I wanted it to last for a long time. And it was really cool because when I was actually finishing the novel, the State Theater was showing the film. And
Oh, wow.
that was cool. That was just really cool timing for me. So, I love that
I
too.
remember
That was good.
when I was doing my senior year of high school, the student teaching that I did, the shadowing with one of the teachers I was with was the late Bob Hilligus down at Junior High East, or what was then Junior High East. Now I guess is Middle School East.
Yes, now it's middle school. Yeah.
Um, Roy is a social studies teacher that was also one of the assistant football coaches. Roy McDonald.
I thought it was Mike McDonald, but I don't know. I don't know who you're referring to. I'm not as
Yeah, I
familiar
knew that.
with football coaches as you.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was when I played.
Right. I understand.
Okay. He was one of the history teachers, social studies teachers. And at the time I was with them, Glory was playing at the State Theater.
Wow.
And he was going to do like a day field
Yeah,
trip,
yeah, 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 yeah.
march the students
Yeah, yeah,
to the
yeah, yeah,
State
yeah.
Theater.
Well, that reminds me of another fun event teaching. I was teaching a novel, general students, called Rebecca, British novel. Okay,
Okay.
where part of the novel they had, cucumber sandwiches and went to tea rooms and things like that, and had
Right.
scones and whatnot. And of course, my general students in Boyertown, Pennsylvania had never had cucumber sandwiches or scones, right? And there was a tea house in Boyertown. And so I marched my students up the street from the high school to the tea room
Wow.
to have tea at the tea room. And it went really, really well. I mean, they were introduced to all this fancy stuff and they behaved themselves really, really well. And we went back to the high school. But the thing is, the next morning, the office had a phone call from the tea room that they were missing 6 salt and pepper shakers. My students had lifted the salt and pepper shakers as souvenirs from their visit to the tea room. So my high school professional colleagues will never. Leslie loves that story, for example, that
You
I
visit
took
a
the
tea
kids.
room and that's what you steal?
Yes, yeah, not
Have
a
you seen
fork, not a spoon, but a salt and
have
pepper
you
shaker.
seen speaking of radio, have you seen the movie Talk to Me?
Not that I'm
Mhm.
aware of, but I don't remember
Don
what I
Cheadle?
see.
It's about a 60s black Howard Stern.
Whoa.
It's a true story. And this guy gets invited to the White House. And
You
they
can
said,
imagine.
he comments
Oh,
about
I can imagine.
what a
Yeah.
black man would steal from the White House. Oh, I think
Yeah.
we just lost. Yep, we just lost 99.1. We'll
Okay.
see them tomorrow,
All
and
right.
we're also going to lose America One Radio because we cut.
Well, shall
Uh,
we try signing off?
we'll get there. Yeah, um, but he's on the air the next day,
Yeah.
and he's saying now everybody's worried about what a black man would steal from the White House. He says, I'm not going to steal nothing. He's got this teacup with a spoon, and he's mixing up his coffee.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, we'll get to the second question next time, but I'll
Okay.
prepare you for it. Um, the question is, how often do you try new or uncomfortable things, and what is a recent example? So we can come back to that next time if you want to, but my
Sure.
guess is we should be signing off, right?
Yeah. I got a
So
puppy
I'm
to feed.
I'm Jane Stahl,
And I'm Yergs.
and we're doing together a show
Yes.
called Both Sides Now.
Now, there we go. And up the middle.
Okay.
You've been on both. It's been a good 2 hours. And we will
Very
see
good.
you. I will see you tomorrow for
Okay.
the usual 1 hour during the week of Up the Middle.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
I got text messages.
All right, buddy.
Michael
I'll
says
talk to
hello,
you.
just ending the stream. I hope he's still here. That was 25 minutes ago. I got to do better watching text messages that show up here.
I see them on the. Yeah, I
Uh,
didn't know when they came in though. Anyway, have a good week. I'll talk to you next
You
week.
too. All right.
Okay.
I'll see you then. All right, everybody.
Bye bye.
That's it for us. This has been Up the Middle and Both Sides Now. I apparently have some text messages to reply to, but I'll do that on. That one comes from YouTube. All right, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for joining.